Good morning, everyone, and welcome to a Tuesday morning edition of the Mop. I appreciate you tuning in. Good viewers yesterday, and so welcome. Partly cloudy, little blue strikes sun here, and it's going to be a nice day. It was pretty decent yesterday. If the wind would stay down, it would be all right. Again, got another shirt for a pullover kind of thing for the Alzheimer's Association. And looking forward to the third annual Marcy Strikes Out Alzheimer's 369 tournament. So that'll be March 7th. We are going to have two shifts. In-town teams will shoot at 10:30. Out-of-town teams shoot at 2:30. And then the top 12 will go into a double elimination tournament format. I got to talk to a few people yet, but that's where it's going to go. Looking forward to it. Already have 17 teams signed up, so it's crazy to already think that. WFA, we've heard about it all the time, about waste, fraud, and abuse, and how we're going to get this all taken care of, and how it doesn't affect you and I, or, whatever it may be, with the fraud from the voting and blah, blah, blah. So, where I want to know is, how much is it costing us with Saturday? The other ending part of that is Saturday cartoons. If you were 50-some like me, I'm 51, Saturday mornings were a good day for cartoons where you were allowed to have a bowl of cereal in the living room to watch TV and have good cartoons. Waiting for the coyote to catch the roadrunner, Bugs Bunny, fighting with the hillbillies, all that kind of stuff. Always good time watching cartoons Saturday mornings. But since when did the White House become the producer of so many cartoons and memes, such as our president? Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm the one out of touch, but I have a feeling, or this is my look on things, is our president of the United States is in the highest of power in the United States. Correct? I think that's right. We're supposed to be professional. We're supposed to be, classy, maybe is the word. I mean, when you're a president of a company, or when you think of a president of a firm or whatever it may be, you think of professional, classy, organized, educated. Not the guy that is having memes made of him sitting in a fighter jet dropping shit on protesters, or poop, I guess I should use the word, or dressed as Rambo with all his guns and all that stuff. To me, that's just weird as shit. And then now dressed as a USA hockey player fighting with Canadians, and we're supposed to go, oh, my question is, how much does that cost? How much does it cost for somebody to be the arts and crafts manager at the White House? Nobody's also upset when Kash Patel said we needed to take away a fighter jet from the last time, or a passenger jet and whatever from the last administration because of waste, fraud, and abuse. But now he's flying to Italy. He went to see his girlfriend. He's given secret story. When did this become okay? When did it become a good idea? And if you're still supporting this administration, like I've said before, you can be a Republican. I have no issues with that. You can be a Democrat. No issues with that. But common sense and professionalism has to come into play at some point. Quit with all the BS. Let's get to the files. Let's figure this out where people can say, oh, it's just a joke. It's whatever. Sexually assaulting young women and whoever else was involved is not okay. At any age, I don't care when it happened, I don't care how long ago. Bill Cosby went to prison. He did his time, for what he did. When are we going to start holding men accountable, especially old white dudes? UK has got it, in my book, they're doing something right. But instead, we're allowing the President of the United States make memes of him fighting on the ice in a USA Olympic, and then to say, well, men, I want you to be at the State of the Union, and I suppose I'll have to invite those ladies too. If you didn't catch that dig at women in general, and if you are a woman supporting this man, I have questions. I have lots of questions. And if you are a male that is supporting a guy that degrades women to the point he has, I have questions for you. I was raised differently, I guess. I was raised where the man walks on the curbside. In case a car goes out of control, they hit you first. I was raised where you open the doors in your cars, your trucks, whatever it may be. I was also raised where you shake hands with veterans. You thank them for your service. You also say Mr. and Mrs. That's how I was raised by my mom. My kids were raised, my son was raised the exact same way. That you are expected to walk on the curbside, open doors for your lady friend or whoever it may be, or just a female in general. Mr., Mrs., all of those things go with those. You do not disrespect. You do not hit women. You do not push them around. And it's just absolutely asinine of the amount of people that support this belligerent cabinet. You've got Kash Patel. Nobody seems to be worried about the amount of money it costs to go to the Olympics. Well, he should have been there. I hear this all the time. Well, it's different. They need to go to these events. They do? For what purpose? We have enough stuff going on we're trying to play now with the Iran thing, and I don't know if that's a good idea. I don't think you want to play chess with Iran, and we've got enough boats now being spread out all over. It'll be interesting to see what happens. But now with the Mexico problem, now we're in Venezuela, Iran. I believe President Trump was saying how the only way Barack was going to win is if he would start with Iran to kind of distract from things. Do you think we're distracting from anything? Do we think we're redacting things as they speak right now of trying to burn and bury whatever it may be to come out with the truth? Well, Chris, they all lie. They all do this. You know that. Yeah, I do. I do. But at some point, the truth has to come out, and at some point, the people that are waving their big red and white flags and their flags of whatever, your truth comes out of where you are and how you value other people. And are you there for the good, or are you just there and not going to stand up to anything? I'm tired of hearing about Pete Hegseth saying how Jesus is the answer and you got it. Yeah, he's right. But in order for Jesus to be the answer, you have to act and obey the things that Jesus said. And that's not happening. Now there's things of the big Republican supporter not allowing people to get into the ranch where there may be bodies buried. Who knows? Oh, Chris, that's just a conspiracy. You have no clue how much money things can hide. There's people missing yet that they swear. So let them in. Let them do their research. Let them look. But I'm tired of the Saturday morning cartoons coming out of the White House with the meme drawings and everything else. It's absolutely frickin' asinine. Why we have homeless, why we have vets not being served, taken care of, why we have schools that are underfunded and just not being taken care of. So you know what? Because they don't want people to be educated. They want people to stay uneducated and listen to whatever comes out of Fox News or anything like that. Because that's what they want in order to survive. Because if people actually started thinking about common sense and taking care of themselves, shit would go sideways in a hurry. Why do you think you're starting to see that already the Democrats and stuff are kicking the living snot out of most of the Republicans in all these little battles everywhere? If you don't think that's going to affect the big battle, keep believing what you're going to do. It's going to keep turning. Instead of uniting that we had both hockey teams win gold, they divided them automatically. Kash Patel, Donald Trump, they divided the men and the women's hockey teams. And then Kash is there. How much money do we need to spend? When I keep hearing about waits for, but Chris, it's good. This is good. The other was bad. Playing golf is good. Need to do that. No, the frick we do. We need to start taking care of people, such as research for cancer, Alzheimer's, all cut. And why? Because we have a guy that's in charge of our health system that snorted cocaine for many years off of toilet seats and anywhere else. But we're okay with that. Or we're hauled a head of a whale on his van. Or we got Fox News hosts that are in powerful positions. If you want to ask yourself one thing about the Epstein files, maybe check and see, because everybody wants to revert back to that, is why didn't Biden take care of that? Let's ask yourself, why didn't Pam Bondi take care of it when she was in charge of it in Florida? It started that long ago, and then yet we still had, I'm going to give UK props, big time, for doing what they're doing. If that's how the truth has to come out, then let the truth roll. If my good friends are in the Epstein files, they need to go to jail too. I'm sorry, it's just how it has to work. If you are proven to have done what these girls had to go through, and I'm not sure why we haven't even talked about it when we have so many survivors that are telling what happened, that why we have to continue to go through this. It should pretty be shut and closed cases when you have the thing. But see, money has a lot to do with things. By the way, Trump said that if Queen Elizabeth II, should pardon, it's pretty hard since she died in 22. I don't know if he knows that. Probably doesn't. He asked the Queen to pardon, because he would his kids. If they were caught doing this stuff, he'd pardon them. But the Queen can't. Different kind of government, but she's also not here. She passed away. And I think that whole family's doing the right thing with what they did. We need to learn. So, that's all I've got for you today. My neck, I can move a little bit better. My shoulders, my neck, doing okay. Not feeling overly great. But again, that's what I've got today. Posted yesterday about 2 years ago was one of the last visits. 2 years ago, so February 2 years ago, I went and saw Mom, and by July, Mom was gone. End of July, first part of August. Mom was gone. She was gone mentally before when I went to visit, but so that is why this is vital for me to have a successful tournament again. I posted in my events, if you're you'll see updates there. I did the rough idea of payout. When it shows the breakdown, I am a very big staunch believer of breaking everything down so everybody sees where it's going, where the money's going, and where the money went. But right now we're at 17 teams. I get 7 more, we'll be full. And then during the summer and September, October, I'm going to make the big push for sponsors and all that stuff. But right now I'm just trying to get basic rules and everything else done so I can make sure this tournament is as good as the other ones were too. So thanks to everybody that's going to bowl in it. Thank you for stepping up. Thank you for being friends and just helping me get through and making sure I honor my mom the best way I can. And we'll go from there. Have a great day. Enjoy life. Take time. Find some things that relieve things, such as getting together, bowling with teams and bowling bakers, all that kind of stuff. Laughs, giggles, jokes, whatever. You need some of that mentally to clear yourself. So have a great day. And as always, thanks for tuning into the Mop, and take time to bless somebody today.